Nick Calandra, Alyssa Mercante, and all of Kotaku Detected are celebrating deplatforming Smash JT's Kotaku Detected website. Yeah, he had a website that was dedicated to identifying people that are involved with Kotaku that have no journalistic integrity, and now they are clearly celebrating it in one of the most disgusting forms of censorship I've seen on the internet. Nick Calandra, if you're hearing this, you are a scumbag. Alyssa Mercante, if you're hearing this, you are a scumbag. Jessica Cogswell, you're not innocent. I see you cheering this on. You are a scumbag. So they all gathered together in a coordinated effort to contact Wix. And basically, Wix had some kind of excuse saying that they broke TOS, that Smash JT's website was in violation of TOS, and Smash GT was not happy about it. This is their playbook, guys. They silence people. They don't want any negative feedback, any negative criticism, and it's sad to see just how well these people are celebrating the whole situation. Even this guy, John Feeps, plumber at law, who runs a podcast on YouTube. He's one of the most simps-worthy people of Alyssa Mercante. Just can't shut his mouth. He's one of the most insufferable people I've seen on the internet alongside all these people that were featured on Kotaku Detected. And yeah, they're at it again, constantly making their passive-aggressive statements behind protected tweets, behind protected blocks. These guys will night and day coordinate against anybody that has anything bad to say about them. But now Nick Calandra, he's the one that looks the most foolish out of all of them. Calandra cannot stop making an ass out of himself. He has officially shut down YouTuber Smash JT's Kotaku Detected website after calling for mass reporting. So yesterday we talked about how Nick Calandra somehow managed to convince Smash JT to take his information off. And even though Smash complied, he was starting to call for action with his followers. He wanted them to take down Smash JT's website, and it looks like they successfully achieved it. So this is sad to see that the side that is the intolerant, they want to censor people. They want to shut down negative criticism. And honestly, this was a coordinated campaign that was organized not just by Nick Calandra, but obviously all the people of Kotaku as well, because this was a Kotaku Detected website that identified and let people know exactly which journalists out there are considered Kotaku affiliated, and these people that push woke narratives, woke agendas, these people that write unhealthy ideologies trying to infect our gaming industry. So yeah, this was a page on Smash JT's website that he described as a comprehensive directory of individuals who work or have worked at Kotaku, a website that has historically shown to care more about pushing activist agendas and narratives instead of conversations about video games. And now it is officially gone. They were trying to play victim, and at this point they are making fun of it. You can see these people are calling for celebration, and Alyssa Mercante is just relishing in this. She really is a vile human being. Probably one of the worst people I've seen on the internet. And you could think, just not the other day, she made her own list, her own spreadsheet of YouTubers who have covered her articles and behavior on social media. It's weird how her lists are okay, but when Smash JT makes Kotaku Detected, people freak out and think that it's some kind of hit list and that it's targeting them, and it's completely unhinged. Honestly, the hypocrisy on both ends of the whole situation is a both bit tiresome, but let's be honest here. The people from Alyssa Mercante and Kotaku are not innocent. They're the ones that pick and prod towards the whole thing, and then they play victim when they get called out, when things happen their way, when they get doxxed, when they get personal family members contacted. You forget Alyssa Mercante contacted Smash JT's wife in what was a pretty unprofessional situation. And it's really amazing how far these people are willing to go to escalate things to where they will even take down a website that is calling them out on their behavior. Keep in mind, there was no private information posted on here, but they were reporting it to Wix.com, who promptly took it down and responded that there was privacy complaints, that personal information and other things were on this website that were breaking TOS, but that's not true. That's not true at all. And it's sad to see that Wix caved into this mob who is clearly enjoying and having a filled day. Nick Calandra has actually been in the news a lot lately. Just yesterday, he was making comments that he would be willing to knock out any anti-woke protester if he ever ran into him in the bar. Yes, this guy is asking for calls to violence against anybody that has an opposing opinion. And I find that ridiculous that nobody sees him as unhinged on his side of the camp. They see it as good. Your only violence is allowed when you're attacking people that are against the whole Kotaku woke narrative. And that's what's sad about this whole situation. And it stems from the hashtag Free Stellar Blade movement. You know, the whole movement where people got upset that Stellar Blade was actually going to be censored after they advertised it being uncensored. Yes, all of this call for violence, all this doxing, all this mass reporting is because of video games. These people complain about some of the most smallest redundant things, and then when people go against the grain with them, they act like they're the ultimate victim. They act like these people are the ultimate bigots. They label people as the bigot army, and it's sad to see. When somebody that is as big of an influencer like Nick is calling for calls to action to dox people's private information, when he's calling for action to cause violence towards people, that is very irresponsible of them. And, you know, it's very funny to see how thin-skinned they are because of Kotaku Detected. The fact that Nick Calandra is going out of his way to cause such a disruption to Smash JT, to Hypnotic, to myself, to anybody that's going against the grain and then threatening violence, you could tell just how paper thin his ego is. And this guy is totally trying to play it like we are some kind of unhinged, crazy lunatics that don't know any better. When in fact, all we're doing is just reporting what they're doing. Everything that they post is public. All their unhinged behavior is public. Their calls to threaten people are public. Alyssa Mercante contacting Smash JT's wife was public. There's nothing fabricated here. There's no defamation. But these people don't know when to quit. And that's why it's important to continue to speak up against these people. Because even to this day, Alyssa Mercante has quadrupled down that she did nothing wrong by contacting Smash JT's wife to threaten, intimidate, and harass his family on a personal level. Even Kotaku's own boss, Carolyn Petit, condones this behavior. They literally claim that Alyssa Mercante did nothing wrong, and they agree with the whole idea of going beyond personal bounds to contact people's families and wives over video games, over video game content, which is ridiculous when you really want to think about it. But never mind that Alyssa Mercante always made the first move when it came to attacking anybody. When you look at all the stuff that she's done, not just with Smash JT, but with also all of her other enemies, she's always been quick to attack, to report, to play victim, to block, to passive-aggressively tweet. She honestly has no business being in the gaming industry. She's a political activist posing as a video games journalist. Think of all the stuff. This is similar to how Anita Sarkeesian, Emily Frost, how these people go aggressive towards everybody. They hate gamers. They consume everything that's anti-gamer. Like, honestly, especially if you're a male, a straight male, you are public enemy number one when, you know, these people should be uniting the gaming community, when they should be writing articles praising and talking about the positivity side of gaming. But no, never. And Nick Calandra is just the latest. Up until just the other day when he doxed Grums, yes, guys, he used his private Patreon Discord of over 13,000 members to dox Grums, who was the hashtag Free Stellar Blade movement creator. And he's been causing a lot of commotion on the internet going against these guys. Guys like him, guys like Smash JT, Hypnotic, Side Scrollers, Melanie Mack, myself, anybody that leans even remotely towards the anti-woke side of things, we paint ourselves as targets against these people. And they want this divisiveness and they want this attention. And then they go the extra mile to try to shut down people's speech, their platforms and everything. But yeah, he used his own Patreon Discord in order to try to get information about Grums. They were looking up his personal info. And keep in mind, again, it's over 13,700 members of Patreon. And this is clearly a TOS violation of Patreon. And it's funny how all these guys like Nick and Alyssa Mercante want to label Kotaku Detected as TOS of Wix. So they went out of their way to contact Wix, shut down Smash JT's website, and they succeeded. So I think it's personally, in my opinion, fair game to contact Patreon, to contact Discord, to contact Twitter, and let them know Nick Calandra's behavior, that he has been coordinating his followers in his private Patreon Discord to gather information. Now, of course, he denied it. He said that that wasn't happening, and he even threatened legal action against Grums. And that's what these people do. When they get called out, they try to threaten that legal action out there because they're all about the cyberbullying, like I said. They want their cake, and they want to eat it, too, when it comes to how they behave on the internet. And how dare anybody even step up and say anything against them. If they do, guess what? That means you're racist. That means you're a bigot. That means that you are homophobic, transphobic. They'll throw all these buzzwords at you, and it's pretty ridiculous to see just the kind of low levels that these people will go. And honestly, that's why I'm covering this. I need to speak out against this. Everybody watching this, you guys need to use your voice. You guys need to start speaking up on social media about this. You guys need to let Wix know what Nick Calandra is doing. You guys need to know, let Patreon and Discord know, because these guys, they will take an inch and then they'll take a mile. Nick Calandra said, hey, Smash, can you please kindly remove my information on your Kotaku Detected website? He complied, took it down. Then when Smash JT refused to take down the website and remove everybody else's information, Nick went on the attack, took down Smash JT's website, and that is an ultimate form of censorship, of trying to silence somebody just because you don't agree with their opinions. And honestly, this is what's infecting the gaming community even more. You see people like Jessica Cogswell and other people related to video games journalism. They are celebrating censorship with Smash JT's website being gone. Can you imagine that? We have journalists who should be all in on freedom of speech celebrating somebody being censored, somebody being deplatformed, and not because they were writing hateful things. It's because they were identifying them as reporters that had no journalistic integrity. And you think of Nick Calandra with his behavior trying to get Grums doxxed. Do you think of his behavior trying to get people involved in violent altercations with him, throwing threats out there? These people are not safe to be around. Now, let me get that clear. I'm not terrified of people like Nick. I'm not terrified of people like Alyssa Mercante. I don't appreciate their behavior as a whole when it comes to the gaming community, when it comes to the platforms that we have that are free speech on the internet. To act in the way that they do, to congregate, to conspire, to plan, to have coordinated efforts to take down free speech because it doesn't fit their echo chamber, in my opinion, that's the least integrity that I've seen out of anybody. And these people, again, are journalists, and they're supposed to uphold freedom of speech. But instead, they're too busy writing political commentary, trying to push SJW narratives, trying to push ideologies that are woke. They're more worried about writing about LGBTQ articles and celebrating all the wrong things instead of actually defending free speech. When you're seeing them celebrating somebody being taken down because they coordinated it, that is disgusting. That is despicable behavior, in my own opinion. And that's why these people need to be called out. That's why Kotaku Detected was a great thing. And now it's gone for right now. Now, Smash JT says that they have not answered him. He has not heard anything from them. We'll see what happens. It's very sad to see a company like Wix being involved in something like this. I know a lot of companies play it safe. YouTube's one of them. Anytime you have privacy complaints, copyright strikes, anything like that, they kind of clean their hands of the situation because they don't want to get involved to a point where I guess they become responsible for making the wrong decision. Now, what probably happened is that they probably just had a whole bunch of reports head their way, and they just said, hey, you know what? We're going to take it down. Hopefully, Smash continues his efforts to try to repost his thing up there and get it going, because it was good to see that these people were being called out. Because look at Nick Calandra's behavior. I've been showing screenshots on the screen of his threats of doxing, of his threats of violence. And that's how a lot of these guys are, especially the males on the SJW side of things. I've seen that they're the most passive-aggressive and violent people out there. These are the guys that are actually mentally ill. These are the type of guys that you see do stuff in public that ends up on the news where people will get hurt. You never hear of a actual real journalist coming out there that has integrity, going beyond these bounds. This guy is not a journalist, and it fathoms me how much money he gets off of Patreon alone, how many followers he has on his Patreon. For somebody that's this sick in the head, this insufferable, to have thousands and thousands of followers give him thousands of dollars a month. No wonder why he's acting the way he is. He feels that he's immune to criticism. He feels like he's immune to people calling him out on his actions. And that's why he's the way he is, ultimately. This guy has no place in our gaming community. And the fact that he's acting the way he does and trying to label people as breaking TOS shows supreme hypocrisy. Because this guy, if anybody's breaking TOS on any platform, it's this guy. And hopefully something is done about him. And that's not me endorsing violence. That's not me endorsing him to be doxxed. This is me endorsing him to be held responsible for his actions, either through legal actions or being reported on these websites, these platforms. It's funny how these guys want to pick and choose who's allowed to have their free speech, who's allowed to have a platform, who's allowed to have a voice and an opinion, when ultimately these guys are the worst of the bunch. And honestly, I'm sick and tired of it. And I know a lot of you guys are sick and tired of it as well. I've seen the engagement, not just on my content or my tweets, but other people's tweets and engagement out here. We're sick of being force-fed all this bull crap that has nothing to do with video games, that these people are more worried about their sexual orientation and their pronouns and everything but video games. Video games are supposed to be fun, and I know that statement definitely irritates them. They do not like to hear that video games are supposed to be fun, but guess what? They are supposed to be fun. They're supposed to take you out on a whimsical journey, make you forget about the real world, make something that can entertain you for a bit. But no, these guys are more worried about putting political commentary in all of their video games, and they go beyond that. When they're writing stuff about games, they put their political commentary, they put their ideologies, and it's just tiresome to see. And then when they get called on it, they don't know how to act right. And now they are deplatforming people. Who knows if this is going to be the first person they take down? And Smash JT's website was just the first of many different shutdowns. For all we know, we could have no 8-Bit Eric channel tomorrow because I'm going against the grain. We could have no Hypnotic channel because he goes against the grain. We could have no side scrollers. Again, you give these people an inch, they will take a mile. They have no bounds when it comes to exactly what is professional. And they call themselves journalists. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Let me know your thoughts down below.